Hey, gang, not sure if anybody's going to be watching tonight. I know a lot of people were, busy doing different things, and uh, I just now noticed that I'm going to have to adjust, or I may just go ahead and do it like I'm going to do it. There was an update to my Logitune for my webcam, and it's making me look a little brighter than normal. But it may make me go out of the stream to fix this. So I'm sorry that I look a little washed out and a little too blown out and bright. Um, but I don't know how many people we're going to have on here tonight. Um, it seems like here lately people have been a little busy. So I will go it alone and still do this watch alone because that's what I had scheduled. But Steve may be on here with me in a little bit. He's finishing up watching Deadpool and Wolverine for like the third or fourth time. So um, I may just take a second. If anybody, comes in here and doesn't see me, I know if you're not in here now, you're going to not hear me, but it's bothering me for me to be blown out like this. So I'm going to see if I can fix this really quickly. I'm going to temporarily remove myself real quick here, and I'll be right back. I don't know. I'm still looking washed out. Let me go completely out of this so I can do some adjustments, and I'll be right back. Okay, that looks a little better. I may have to do a few adjustments to it, but it looks a little less washed out. I don't know if maybe there's too much light on me from that or not. But anyway, I'm back. And hopefully people didn't come in here and say, well, where the heck is she? Um, but anyway, like I said, I think Steve was grabbing his copy of Deep Red. We will be watching the export version, and just so people know where to get if anybody's watching and you want to watch along tonight. Um, I've got mine paused at Rizzoli Films and Salvatore Argento Present. Um, and I will talk a little bit to allow people to get to where they need to be. And again, this is the export version that we're going to be watching in an hour and 44 minutes long tonight. Tomorrow night's watch along will be Tenebrae, which will also start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully, I won't have any snafus with my camera and stuff like that. It happens every time there's a update. It kind of just resets the settings back to what they were. I'm probably going to have to pull out my paperwork and get things adjusted to where they need to be. But anyways, and I haven't got the programming lined out for next week just yet. I'll work on that tonight and hopefully get that out there and ready for you guys and gals by Monday, so that you can decide which of the things that you want to watch and which that I'm not gonna bother with it. Carlo is here. Carlo is here tonight, otherwise known as Steve. So I can see the top of Steve's head and like his glasses, but Steve, maybe you can wave to me when you get ready for me to add you, because I don't want to add you before you're ready. So I don't like to add people unexpectedly or anything. So again, as a reminder for anybody that's just come in here, it looks like we got one other person and Steve in here probably. But this is the export version. We've got it paused on Rizzoli Films and Salvatore Argento Present, in case you want to know where to get queued up at. And Steve's like this. I could see him backstage. But hey, Candace, you say you just got the messages. Oh goodness, you're having bad storms. Oh my goodness. Well, y'all be safe, Candace. Take cover if you need to. Yeah, I mean, feel free to watch it if you can. But man, I'm sorry that y'all are having that bad weather. But y'all stay safe. Don't be watching this if y'all need to, duck and cover or anything. Hey, Phil. So I don't see Steve anymore. I don't know. I'm not sure what he's done.
Change it this.
Why?
I put the wrong one in.
The wrong one in. Steve put the wrong one in, so we're gonna have to wait for him to get the export version. Phil, if you're
You can start.
You want me to go ahead and get the movie started?
Sure.
Well, I can wait for you. Phil, we were watching the export version tonight, and like I've been telling everybody, we were queued up to Rizzoli Films and Salvatore Argento Present. Yeah, I hope it does pass y'all by. But you say a tree fell down across the road at your mom's. Yikes! Yeah, be careful. That's nothing. These storms are nothing to play around with. It's been windy and really, really hot here. So Steve's giving me the thumbs up. So I'm going to go ahead and add him real quick. What is that voice? And I can hear you echo.
Do I need to get a thing?
Maybe you might get some headphones.
Well, let's do this. I can still hear you from the back.
Can you?
Well, maybe not. That's okay. Let me know when you're ready to go.
Okay. Well, you can get some headphones. I've got my wireless ones. Do you want my wireless ones?
You mean the ones I gave you? Yeah.
Yes, dear. Hold on a second. Let me figure out where they're at. Oh, they were right here.
Oh,
Oh, God.
still
Yeah, but
charged.
you didn't pay $300 for them. Yeah, hopefully they are charged. Sorry, guys and gals. We have a few technical
Boy,
snafus. Because if Steve doesn't put on the headphones, you're going to hear me echoing. So hopefully we can do this and it won't. That's probably a weather thing, Steve. I don't think we're getting anything else in today. Okay, so I don't hear. I don't. Steve, can you say something?
Hello.
So okay, great. Let's.
Something, something, butthole.
Oh God. All right, whatever. Yeah. Steve's got to make entertainment for everybody. So, um, did it tell you how much battery power was left on those?
It didn't. I
Okay.
didn't hear it.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to slide this door closed because I can hear Steve say something a half a second before it actually travels back here. So
Something, something, dark side.
I can hear him from back there and hear him on the screen too. So here we go. All right. So Steve, have you got yours queued up?
Yes.
Okay. To Rizzoli Films.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I guess we're gonna go ahead and get started while we got two people in here. And so we'll do the countdown and we'll hit play. So three, two, one, press play. I forgot to. I forgot to check and see if I had the subtitles turned on. I can hear Steve, so I can still hear the sound. Or maybe it's coming out of mine. I don't know. There we go. Steve, I don't think I've ever asked you this. What did you think the first time you saw these shots at the beginning with the bloody knife and the kid and
I mean, I don't remember. I don't think this was on the TV version that I saw.
oh, so TV version was the first time you saw it?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was late 80 or I don't know. Late 80s, early 90s. It was on after Saturday Night Live one time, and it was I hadn't seen it. It's they started showing unedited movies then for some reason. I saw like the Crazies,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw titties and a black man's ass, and I was like, I'm gonna watch everything that they show just in case they show me something like that.
Yeah. I to be honest, I've said before that I didn't see Deep Red for a long time, but I could have sworn that I saw a scene that comes up later in the film. I don't really want to give it away now, but it was really gruesome, and I saw it on TV. And I don't even think it was late at night or anything. Okay, I've got the subtitles turned on. Why aren't they showing up on here?
Mm.
It's got English 1 and English 2, but neither one of them are showing up on it. Oh,
Hmm.
here we go. Now it is.
There's that bitch from the Night Train murders.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it blew my mind whenever I saw her in Night Train Murders and how evil she was in that. Steve, are you meaning for us not to be able to see just the top of your head?
I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe.
just asking. But I do believe this was the first Argento film I ever saw. It was either this or Suspiria, one of the two.
Demons was probably mine.
But this is my favorite Argento film of all time. So Olga's starting to have some kind of strange reaction. Bambino di Satana.
Yeah, Satan's baby boy.
Does that have anything to do with this movie?
No,
Okay.
like the prick. Oh, of a thorn.
Yes, of a thorn, dear. There's death in the room. Phil, you say I saw Demons and Suspiria around the same time. I think I may have seen, now that I'm thinking about it, I may have seen Suspiria a little bit before I saw Deep Red. I never could understand why the water comes running out of her mouth, though.
Because she's not. I don't know. She's not swallowing it. I don't know what she's doing.
But Argento insisted on showing us a close up of her mouth that coming out. Or Helga, sorry. I think I called her Olga. Helga. Good Lord, Steve jumped up there and then he. That is one of the filthiest bathrooms I've ever seen. Why would they let it get that nasty?
I don't know.
That looked like a pretty swanky building for it to have such an awful bathroom. That would hurt. A thorn piercing your brain. Steve, do you need your glasses on or Steve's not talking.
I'm yeah. I can see.
Okay.
What happened?
That was just probably somebody messaging me. I think Phil took a screenshot of you, Steve.
I'm sure it's very expressive.
Well, it was just the top of your head and
Yes.
glasses. He said new meme.
Hmm.
Yeah, we should do that. We should make a new meme out of that. Now I like this with the goblin music playing and it showing. Some of the stuff is really creepy, like that yarn doll with the pins in it and all these drawings. What's wrong with that baby doll? It's like it's got pimples. And why would you give a kid a toy like that? It looks like a devil.
I thought these were toys, but the adult has them now.
Yeah, but I figured they were kids' toys at one time though.
Well, they were, but I mean, years have passed.
Yeah, but why would a kid want a toy that looked like a devil? That one thing looked like a devil. Steve, you might be a few seconds behind me because I could hear the music still going back in the living room whenever it already switched to the scene with Helga. But I think it's just a few seconds. Steve, are you drinking more, no, more of that hard dew?
Yeah, just one more.
How many of you had?
3.
Oh,
Well, 4.
oh boy.
And ain't
Steve and
that.
I picked up some hard dew today. Hard Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's.
the subtitle said Helga screams incoherently.
That's true.
I don't think screaming would be coherent though. Bill, are you saying you didn't know they made that hard lemonade or hard not hard lemonade, hard dew? Steve, how long's that been out?
It's been out for a while, but it's not in every state. I guess there's some either. I always assumed it was because they didn't want it because they would think that children would drink it because they think it's regular Mountain Dew. But that's the first time I've seen it. It was only in a couple of places in Kentucky, like Lexington or a place outside of Lexington.
And here is we're going to see Carlo in the movie, and Carlo's a little bit alcoholic, I believe. And what's this guy's real name again? The guy playing Carlo.
Give me a minute.
I always forget.
I
But
mean,
he's been on other stuff.
yeah, he's been in Inferno and a couple of. Actually, he
I
was
thought
in.
I seen him in Inferno,
What
and
was
I was
that?
like, I think that's Carlo.
He was in Sleepless.
Okay. It's been a while since. I think I might have watched Sleepless with you or something, but it's
His
been a
name's
while.
like Gabrielle Lavia.
Yeah, that,
Lavia. He's still acting. He was in something last year.
now, does Fanny in Italian? I mean, like you told me in
I
the
don't know.
UK that Fanny didn't mean your ass; it meant something else
Yeah,
on the front of
you
a
meant your
woman.
front.
Yeah, your front,
God,
not your back.
he's 81.
Is he really? And I
Yeah.
always thought
Oh,
David Hemmings looked like Paul McCartney to me.
well, he's got the droopy eyes.
But David Hemmings passed away. I forget what year he passed away, but
I think he passed away a little after he did Gladiator.
mm,
Uh, no, yeah, he was 2003.
okay. Well, it's been a while.
So I guess his last movie was probably he was in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That might have been his last movie. Well, actually, he was in a few things after that, but it was all. Well, apparently he was in some movie in 2007.
Huh.
Obviously, I would imagine they filmed his shit before that.
He
Great
was
Virgins. Holla.
oh, goodness. David Hemming was in a Tales from the Crypt episode.
He created Airwolf.
He did.
Well,
I
in
didn't,
the TV show, he was the creator of Airwolf.
but I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in a couple episodes of Airwolf. He was in the pilot, and then he came back as like a ghost in the machine, basically.
That's that's pretty violent. There, that final kill of Helga. Now, Steve, something that's going to come up later on in the film. Did you see it the first time around?
No, obviously not, because all the shit I seen it
I
on
see,
didn't look good
I
enough
see
to.
it now. I see it
Yeah,
now
I mean,
because I'm looking
because
for
we're
it.
not watching on crappy VHS third generation prints, but yeah, you could see it. And I didn't ever see her titties either.
No, I don't remember. I don't ever remember seeing that. When he pushed up on it, you could could see her boob.
I mean, I don't know if they really did much. They cut that out of the TV version or something.
And me and Chris were talking the other night when we were talking about Tenebrae. He was asking me if I noticed that uh, the girls that are lesbians, or one of them likes men and women. You know which one I'm talking about,
The
Steve?
cool one.
The cool one. Well, the
Yeah.
chick that wants to take a man home, and the other girl gets kind of mad at her, but the one that wants to take the man home, she's sitting down in this little uh, lounge or restaurant or whatever, and her boob kind of, she has like a nipple slip, and I had never noticed that before.
Hmm.
And I guess Chris hadn't either. And he said, "Did you see that?" And I said, "Yeah, I did this time around." I wonder if like cops in Italy really carry around thermoses of coffee like this.
Little bitty cup.
Ah, Daria.
I got
I
my
love her. I love her look in this.
little 110 camera or something with the flash.
I think this is when she looks the prettiest. Some people might
Hmm.
disagree, but
She looked pretty good in shock, I guess.
yeah. He better be walking over to Carlo. Carlo looks like he's going to fall over. It's a good thing he's walking rather than driving. Wouldn't it kind of be disrespectful for them to be standing in back and for her to be talking all the time the funeral's going on?
Mm, I don't know.
I mean, Mark's not really saying anything, but Gianna is. I'm not sure where Steve went. Oh, there he is. Her skirt looks like an optical illusion.
It's CG.
What a picture. I know some people don't like some of these comedy bits and stuff like that, but I
I don't
just,
know. This is. I think they cut all out of this
did
one.
they cut it out of this one? Well,
I don't know all of it. This is the shorter version, so
but
maybe
he
not.
just fell down and
Yeah, maybe not all of it.
I'm just trying. I'm wondering if this has got the. It hasn't got there yet, but the part where he's talking about women being weaker and gentler. I always like that interplay between the two of them. The stalls.
Mm.
Do you notice though that her hair gets fuller sometimes and maybe a little longer? So I'm wondering if they filmed this at different times.
I had to.
Now here's the scene where I'm convinced that they had sex.
Mm. That
That's
was a quick.
my interpretation.
It was a quickie, apparently.
Well, we don't know how much time transpired between the stuff on the stage and here. See, her hair's shorter now. That's so funny.
He banged it out of her.
Oh, God. Okay, they're talking about the women and men. They're digging a hole, dude.
Hmm.
I love the Gianna character. She's probably one of my favorite characters in a Argento film.
Mm.
His hair seems to change too sometimes.
Mm.
These are the types of things you see when you watch the movie enough times. I'll admit it, Mark. She's stronger than you are. So, what's your favorite character in a Argento film, Steve?
Mm, I guess David Hemmings' character. What's his name? Is it named Peter or David? I forgot.
What it is?
Yeah.
No, it's Marcus
Oh,
Daly.
Mark. Yeah, Marcus Daly. I knew his last name. I couldn't think of his first name. Yeah, I
Or
like him.
and so he's your favorite in any Argento movie, or just in
Uh,
this?
I mean, I guess it's hard to say this or Susie Banyan.
She does this thing with her little jacket that she unbuttons it and buttons it a bunch of times. Oh, here we go. The Carlos mother. She keeps thinking Mark's an engineer. This woman's goofy. And I do believe that these pictures of her, they're her real actress pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
Got Coca Cola product placement. I think she was a pretty accomplished actress too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna come up to a kind of, I don't know, I always found it amusing scene because this is clearly a woman that they're trying to make look like a feminine man, I guess.
Yeah, it's a woman, yeah. They just used a man dub and
Yeah.
a little fuzz on the face.
A little fuzz on the upper lip.
The voice is a. I've heard this voice a bunch.
Hmm. Wonder how that woman felt about, let's put a little fuzz on your upper lip and you're going to be dubbed with a guy's voice. This movie would not be politically correct by today's standards. Phil, you say you really like Jessica Harper in Suspiria. She's done so many good movies I like. I love Jessica Harper. She is great. She was Phil, have you ever seen her in a movie called The Evictors? I think she's really good in that too.
Mm.
That's the same director that did Legend of Boggy Creek, right, Steve? The
Yeah,
Jim
Charles B.
Pictures.
Pierce.
Yeah, good old Charles B. Pierce. You need to see it. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it might be on Tubi. I'm not sure. It's been on there before, but you got a message?
It looks like. Oh, Candace sent me a Robert England thing. Cool. I'll have to take a look at that later. I think Carlo has the same clothes he had on the night before.
Well,
So everybody that, especially if you've not seen this before, pay attention to what Carlo is saying to Mark here, because this is gonna come back into play a little bit later.
oh hi, Mark.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, Phil. You got her autograph for making a donation made for the Houston Food Bank. That's awesome.
Who, Jessica Harper?
Evidently, yeah.
No. What'd I do?
You didn't do anything. That was just something on my Facebook. Look at how that woman's smoking. Making they're making smoke
Mm.
rings. I love that the subtitles on here said solo piano noodling. Never heard it put that way. Oh, well, thanks, Phil, for stopping in. I know you love Svengoolie. Steve's probably missing Svengoolie then.
No, I mean, I don't. The movie they're showing, I'm not a big fan of. So,
But Phil, I appreciate you stopping by for a little bit. And y'all remember, you can always watch this on the replay, even if you've got something to do when it's actually going on. Oh, well, thank you, Phil. I appreciate you saying you like listening to us.
I don't know. This Gasper Noel They were doing a screening of Suspiria, and he called and FaceTime Argento for the people
Really?
there. Yeah, I,
I take it then Argento has an iPhone then.
I would
If he
have to
can
think so.
FaceTime. And normally, whenever you hear this little child's nursery rhyme song, somebody's going to get killed. But I don't think it would have did very well for them to kill Markov, certainly in the film. He's smoking Marlboros, isn't he? It's what
Mm.
my granddaddy used to smoke when he smoked. Or was it Winston's that he smoked? I don't know. It was either Winston's or Marlboros. Steve's probably thinking it doesn't matter what kind of cigarettes.
Mm.
When me and Steve finally do get to Italy, I'm going to be excited to see all the architecture in Italy.
You're gonna probably carry me in a little urn when you get there.
Why are you going to be dead?
More than likely.
Steve, I'm not going to go to Italy by myself. We said that was something we were going to do before we died.
Yeah.
Hope Steve's not giving up on his dream to go to Italy.
No.
I'm watching the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray still looks really good. I've got the 4K as well, but so I always wondered had he been trying a bunch of different children's records to try to find the song? Or did he just was so intuitive that he knew what
He
which
used his Shazam app on his
did
phone and then played it, and it told him where it was.
is there really a Shazam app?
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, you play music, and it's supposed to detect what it was and tell you who made it and the name and everything.
But this guy is not a psychiatrist or anything, and he's talking like he is, like he knows all this mental health stuff.
Oh, smart boy, I guess.
I guess maybe he had a double major in college or something.
Double something.
And so this guy knows about the book on folklore that Mark's going to end up going and taking a look at because there's supposed to be a house. Mark's going to end up going because doesn't he tear the picture out of the book here? I think he does. The House of the Screaming Child, that's what they call it. I'm afraid Steve's drank too much hard dew and then he's going to get sleepy.
I don't have to get sleepy.
Well, Steve has trouble staying asleep. He doesn't have trouble going to sleep, just staying asleep. What was the Svengoolie movie tonight, Steve? Just
It's like the Beast. Oh, I don't know, something that was like a sea monster movie or something.
uh,
I can't remember, but it.
oh, I always thought this was funny too, because I don't
Yeah,
know why, and I think he might say it. What a stupid place to have a phone right next to the what is that? An espresso machine or what is that?
yeah.
It has steam coming out of it and it keeps hitting him. Putting a bloody machine next to him. So he's wanting to find the woman Rigetti, her last name's Rigetti, that wrote the
Spaghetti.
Rigetti Spaghetti. That's so disgusting. I think that guy's smoking as he's making those espressos too. And again, we're hearing the main theme um, by the great band Goblin, who me and Steve saw two incarnations of
Yeah, we
Goblin.
saw all together twice. We saw the entire band
Yeah,
for the last time because the one guy passed away.
yeah. We were fortunate to get to see all the original. I guess it was technically all the original band members except for Simonetti. And then Simonetti came to Louisville with his new Goblin band, and we got to see them as well. This old woman always made me laugh. I'm guessing a bus comes all the way out there to get this old woman. There's a definite doll theme or child theme in this movie.
It's a doll fetish. Fetish doll. Zimbabwe fetish doll, right, Dana?
No, it's not. A Zuni.
Azumi.
Zuni fetish doll.
Sumi fetish doll.
No, Zuni. Zuni.
That's what
Zuni.
dogs do when they run around.
No, that's a Zoomy.
Oh.
Like Zuni.
Oh. Oh.
Zoe, do you ever get the Zoomies? She said, I ain't talking to you. I'm just laying down. Steve made me promise I wouldn't play the 2 hour version of this thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it
Or
2 hours.
the over 2 hour version, actually.
Yeah.
How many different versions of Deep Red are there?
Well, whatever the Hatchet Murders version is, and then
Hmm.
this one, and then and they have an international version, and then
I don't know what happened to Steve. I may have just lost him. He just paused on there.
who?
I can hear now. I see you. You pause for a second, Steve. You're just frozen.
I am.
I can hear you talking
Pop,
from the back room, but now you're moving again.
popped goes the weasel.
Yeah. You're pausing a lot, Steve. I don't know what's going on back there. The internet should be the same back there. Only I guess you're wireless back there, so. Holy cow, what's going on? See, you're going to get us in trouble showing the movie. Okay, he doesn't listen to me. Hopefully, they won't stop my stream. I don't know what Steve's doing. What are you doing?
I'm gonna lay down,
Okay.
but I'm gonna leave that up so you can.
No, hun, because that'll get me in trouble. They're
Alright.
able to stop the stream if the movie plays.
Yeah, but that's just an image. It's not got any audio or anything.
I don't know.
Alright.
I just don't want.
All right,
Take-
I'll
There's only 2 people in here anyway.
all right.
Did you get tired of being on there?
No, I'm
Steve?
just sleeping.
Okay.
You got muted, or hopefully.
I'm not muted. No,
Oh, okay.
there ain't no people in here that's paying any attention.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I'm just getting a little tired.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna lay down.
I guess you can cut that, or I can take it out of the stream.
Yeah, I'll turn it off. Well, yeah, you turn it. Whatever.
All right. You guys are just stuck with me for the rest of the time. Steve is tired, so he's gonna exit. I'm gonna try to keep whoever's watching. I'm gonna try to keep you entertained for the rest of the movie. I was hoping Steve would be able to stay on here for the remainder of it, but I will tell you that the kill scenes in this film are really vicious, as anybody that's watching this will notice. This woman is currently being scalded to death.
I'm still on YouTube for some reason. I don't know how kind of delay there is.
There's probably a little bit of a delay because you're taken out of there. So
No, I mean, still, yeah, but I'm still seeing my head, and you're talking to me and shit. That's like,
I don't know how long of a delay there is. So she was scalded really, really bad. I always thought that this looked like wax on her face, which it probably was something like that. And this is going to come into play too. She is writing something in the steam. Good night, dear.
Night.
So we see that Mark has traveled to Mr. Getty's house. Careful there, Mark. Like, I know the house is a mess, but he just almost fell down and hurt himself really bad. So now Mark is talking to someone who is really knowledgeable about different kind of plants because he's trying to find out where this house is from the book. And he finally gets to one guy who says, "Yeah, I remember. We imported one from the Canary Islands, and well, evidently they got several of them, and most of them died, but there was one that they were able to successfully get it to grow." And now Mark is talking to, I believe, Giordani, who was Helga's associate and also her friend too. So this movie essentially, I mean, it's a giallo, obviously, but in layman's terms, I refer to it as a murder mystery. So they're trying to figure out what happened to Helga. So Mark is on the search to find the house that has this particular rare plant growing. This movie's went by pretty fast so far, but of course, when it's a movie I enjoy, it's never like a chore to get through, and we're almost an hour into this. So I believe Mark has found the house. And it's for sale or rent. And so he's going to get the information and knows where to go to find the guy that's either selling it or renting it. Ooh, goodness, sorry. So the little girl here, she's been in several films, but she grew up and was in Demons, um, as one of the people that works in the movie theater. So I hate to leave in the middle of this when I don't have somebody else on the screen with me, but I do have to step away for a second. But those of you that are in here and are watching, please continue to watch, and I'll be back in a minute or so. Okay, so I got myself a little bit of a snack as well. We got Domino's a little bit earlier, and I got one of those marble cookie brownies that I love. So this girl's name is Olga. That might be where I got confused at. So this little girl evidently likes to kill poor lizards. This is a weird little girl. As we can see, So Olga tells Mark that there are ghosts in there. But as with most adults, they don't pay any attention to anything about ghosts, right? And just a note, if anybody comes in here and has the movie and wants to watch along, just ask me for a timestamp in the chat. I'll be glad to give that to you. And I apologize for those of you that are watching along. You may wonder why, there are spaces of time where I'm not really saying a lot. And that's just because Deep Red is one of those movies that sometimes I just get caught up in watching the movie. And I forget that I'm supposed to actually be talking about the movie as it goes on. So I do apologize for that. Also, when I'm on here by myself, sometimes I just, I wind up watching the movie because there's nobody to talk to unless somebody is saying something in the chat, which if you want to say something in the chat or ask a question or make a comment about the film or anything like that, then feel free to do that. This is Deep Red is one of those movies that if you like these kind of movies, you can easily get caught up in it and get kind of lost in it. And a lot of Argento's films are like that. So Mark is about to discover. I guess he maybe has some kind of intuition about the wallpaper that's starting to peel off in one spot. And also, he notices that it appears that someone tried to cement over, put, something over top of something else, put an extra layer in this wall. So his natural curiosity gets the best of him. And he starts trying to chip away other parts of the wall. Which this hurts me watching, and he will hurt his his fingernail, but he's seen, a drawing or a painting or whatever you want to call it, so an image behind this layer. And as the reveal comes, we are starting to realize that this appears to be a child holding a bloody knife and a very monstrous looking figure above the child. But the monstrous figure also appears to be somebody that has been injured because there's a big hole in their middle. And here is some of there's a lot of great imagery in this, and I've always said this about Argento. Anytime I talk about Argento, I talk about the fantastic, uh, albeit ghoulish or morbidly beautiful set pieces he has. Um, that the glass falling in Mark's face was another, although not really ghoulish set piece, but it's beautiful but dangerous at the same time because that glass could have very well uh, injured Mark a lot. It could have went in his eyes or anything. So the caretaker is out there with his daughter, and he's wondering, it's late, why haven't you come back? And they're telling him it's dangerous at night. Nowadays, people with cell phones would take a picture of that and then they would have it on their phones to show. But this was back in the days that, people didn't have that handy. So then we see a bit of plaster fall out of the wall again, and we see another figure. So we've got about 32 minutes left in the film. Um, and, in all honesty, it doesn't matter which version of Deep Red that you watch. I think you're going to enjoy each version. Because I don't think there really are any bad versions of this. So there is a great scene that is getting ready to come up here. I believe it's here, concerning Giordani. So Giordani is hearing some, breathing coming from somewhere, and nobody should really be in his house but him, right? And he hears somebody whisper Giordani. And here is the mad puppet that I think essentially is meant as a distraction, but this is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in a movie. And I am convinced that this Halloween, I am going to make my own mad puppet. It probably won't be animated, but I'm going to try my darndest to make something that looks similar to this guy here. So y'all stay tuned for that. If I get it created, I'll be sure to show it off. This is so painful. This death is extremely painful looking. It's hard to watch, really. Anything to do with the mouth and teeth and stuff like that and trauma coming to them is very hard to watch. And then, of course, you have this, the knife going into the neck. Oh, Brink's coming to visit me. Hey, Russell, how are you doing tonight? So Mark's going to go back to the house. Sounded like Brink was chewing on something. I didn't know what she was doing. So this is a very dangerous thing he's doing, but he's actually breaking into, like, this is evidently like a facade or like a false wall that's put up. But this is very dangerous because this building is very, very old and it probably should be condemned, actually. Brink. Sorry, y'all. I was checking on Brink. Just make sure she was all right. So now he's inside the house breaking through the wall and he's going to make a discovery. We're seeing a Christmas tree and there's a corpse there, which I always enjoyed the reveal in these Argento films as well. A lot of times there will be some sort of gruesome reveal of one type or another. And then someone hits him on the back of the head. Because somebody does not want him to figure out the secrets. And now he is outside the house, and the house, I believe, is on fire, and Gianna is there. I think like maybe the first one or two times I saw this, I was kind of confused by Gianna's reaction. She says, forget it, it's too late. And he's like, what happened? She said, I found your note and came straight here. I saw a reddish light in one of the windows. She said she went upstairs. She found him lying near the flames. A minute or two longer, and you'd been a roast duck, baby. But her look on her face and her voice is just in a monotone the whole time she's telling this. And at one point, I thought, well, can we trust her? Is she a part of this or is she not? And maybe that's the way Argento wanted you to feel about it. He wanted you to, maybe wonder, is everyone who they seem to be? So Mark sees a picture that looks very similar to the picture that he found inside, or the painting or drawing inside the house. And so he's interrogating Olga. He's like, who gave you this? Where did you get this idea from? And her father says, she does horrible things. That just came out of her mind. And he said, well, she couldn't have invented this because this is identical to the one I saw. And she tells him she was being punished, and so they sent her at the school to clean up the archives. And she saw a piece of artwork that was like that at the Leonardo da Vinci School. So, of course, more breaking and entering by Mark and Gianna. So they did a little breaking and entering, and now they're going to go into the archives because Mark has to find that original picture. Russell, you say Saturday is my personal music karaoke night where I pick music videos with lyrics from YouTube from 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. That sounds really cool, Russell. So they're starting, they don't really have a place of reference to start with. So they're kind of just going through them. Um, and looking through the different pieces of artwork. So Gianna just heard something, and she's going to leave Mark there, and she tells Mark, "You keep at it, and I'm going to go take a look." Which, as we know, is never a good idea for the two main people to split up or anybody to split up in a film, especially a horror film or a giallo. So Mark agrees that, maybe we should call the cops and let them know we're here. So that's what Gianna's going to do. And then she hears a whispered Gianna, which we know from watching this entire movie that that's never a good sign. That or hearing the child's nursery rhyme song. I'm so sorry, guys and gals. And he has found the original artwork. And so he's calling to Gianna. And we see a shadow, but that's clearly not Gianna. Yes, Russell, I have seen Squirm from 1976. It is a great little film. I wholly agree with you on that. Anything with like creepy crawlies and stuff like that, even the spider movies, which I don't care for spiders, but I will watch them. There's lots of little, gruesome little things. There's a chalk drawing of a stick figure in a hangman's noose. And there's Gianna, but Gianna doesn't look too well here. Ooh, goodness. So the cops are on their way. But Gianna's already been stabbed, and um, Mark thinks he's convinced of who's been doing all the killing because he saw whose name was attached to the picture. Yeah, Russell Wormface. Yeah, that is the best. That is one of the best images of the film. And there is Carlo. But there's going to be another twist in this, guys and gals. Um, So Carlo is telling Mark he's going to kill him. He's got a gun pointed at him. He said, I'm sorry because I like you, but I have to kill you. And he repeats what he told him earlier. I told you to stay out of it. Pack up and clear out, I said. Remember, I said that was going to come back into play. And he's like, why didn't you listen to me? So the cop, I've never seen a cop quite make an entrance like this guy did. And of course, he got shot at, but he must have had a bulletproof vest on. These cops must be bad shots. But we're coming up on a really gruesome scene here, which this is the scene that I think I saw on TV when I was a kid. And you're going to see what I mean here. So he gets hooked on to the back of this truck and he's being dragged. But also, as this truck makes turns and stuff like that, we're going to see Carlo's head bang against curbs and stuff. I mean, it is vicious. There we go. And then to top it all off, a car comes and squish or splat, as the subtitles say. Well, that's the end of Carlo. So we find out that Gianna's going to be okay. There was a difficult, operation that had to be done, but that she's going to make it. And so Mark is, he's disheveled, he's exhausted, but he's headed back to his apartment. Oh, I love that one too, Russell. The 1988 film Slugs. Yeah, that one's fantastic as well. So we're down to the last few minutes of the film, and there's something else that happened earlier in the film, near the beginning of the film, that's going to come back into play here because something is still plaguing Mark. There's something that he should be able to remember that he's having trouble. He's discovering, he's like, well, Carlo couldn't be the killer because Carlo was with me when Helga was murdered. So what's the missing piece? Oh, Ticks with Clint Howard, right? So here's something else he's probably actually, well, I know he's not supposed to be doing, is he's taking the police tape off of Helga's apartment door. And he's remembering the discussion him and Carlo had about something that he saw the night that Helga was murdered. And so he's going back through the apartment. He's looking at all the paintings on the wall. And we see that there is a mirror that's reflecting stuff in back of it. And when he first saw that, he thought it was another painting, right? So in an Argento film, things are never as they seem. So he stands back against the painting and he says, "What an idiot." You know, there never was a painting there at all. And we see that that was Carlo's mother. She was the murderer. She is the murderer. Yeah, William Friedkin's Bug. That's a decent film. I agree, Russell. So there is the reveal of the actual killer. And she's saying, "I hate you. Carlo had nothing to do with any of this, and you killed him." He was trying to protect me. So we're going to see what happened. This is a young Carlo on Christmas Day. And there's Carlo's mother and father. And the father's basically telling her, you know, you're losing your grip on reality again. You're going to have to go back to the hospital. And she says, "No one can force me to go back in the hospital." And we are led to believe, you know, that it's mental health issues that is plaguing her. So she just very calmly and methodically gets a knife out of the drawer. And the father's going back in there to meet Carlo, and Carlo watches in horror as his mother stabs his father to death. And the father's corpse is the one that we see behind the wall. So we're seeing some of the beginning shots of the film again. We're getting more context here. So now Carlo's mother is attacking Mark. And this is pretty gruesome too. So he's kind of shoved her with his foot, and her necklace is hung around the elevator. To which Mark starts making it move. And Carlo's mother just got beheaded. And we see fluid coming out of her mouth as well when she gets beheaded. So I don't know if there's some correlation between Helga at the beginning and the water running out of her mouth and this. Maybe she was able to see kind of what was going to happen at the end of the film. And we have officially reached the end of this version of Deep Red. I hope for those of you that watched along tonight that you enjoyed it. If this has been your first time ever watching this, I hope that, you know, it wasn't spoiled by anything I said at the beginning. I tried to be, not tell things until it actually got to that point. So if you have not seen Deep Red before, I would still highly, highly recommend you watch it without me talking over it. Just watch the movie as is, and enjoy it. And then if you want to come back and listen to my commentary over it, or me and Steve's commentary at the beginning of this, that's probably the best way to see this film. The best way to see most films is to watch them for yourself first before you listen to anybody's commentary on them. If you have already seen it and you're interested in listening to us talk over it, then by all means, please catch this on the replay if you were not able to watch it tonight or not able to finish up watching it, because I know there have been varying amounts of people in here throughout the night. Oh, Boogeyman. Yes, Russell, I love that one. I love that one. And so I'm not going to keep anybody any longer. Because, like I said, I don't have anybody really on here with me to talk back and forth about anything. But Russell, I thank you for chatting along with me during the last part of the film, and I want to thank Phil for being in here, Candace for being in here. I hope the storms have subsided where Candace is at, and I'm off like. Can't talk. I'm off like a dirty shirt. And as I always do, I want to remind everybody to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. Have a fantastic rest of your Saturday, folks. And be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, where the watch along will be for Dario Argento's Tenebrae. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.